This last week, the AGA announced that we have a world champion coming to the US Go Congress this year. The US Go Congress is an annual event where all us players in the AGA come, meet, and play each other in the US Go Open and the US Go Masters. You can see I have a t-shirt from when I went last year in Estes Park. This year, we have a world champion joining us, Kim Jiseok, 9-Dan Pro. We also have some notable players, Lee Dong-hoon, 9-Dan Pro, retired but extremely strong top pro as well. Mingju Jiang, Young Kyo Do is coming from Go Inside, and very excited about that. Ryan Lee and Stephanie Yin from the New York Institute of Go are coming, and possibly some other pros, including Yilin Yang, of course, the famous 7-Dan Pro. All those have been confirmed already, and is really great to see. Today we're going to take a look at a game where Kim Jiseok won a world championship. He won in 2014 the Samsung Cup. You can see his picture on the left here. He won it against Tang Wei-shing on the right. Tang Wei-shing is a Samsung Cup specialist, actually. He has a nickname for it. He's been to the Samsung Cup Grand Finals 4 times, winning 2 of them. And he's been to the top 4 2 other times, and the top 8 1 other time. It's not like he gets the invitation back. He has to go back to the round of 32 every time, and he keeps on winning all the way back up again. In 2013, actually, he beat Lee Sedol 2-0, and then next year is 2014, where Kim Jiseok beat him in the grand finals and won the world championship back. Let's dive right in. We're going to check out Game 2 today. This is Game 2 of the 2014 Samsung Cup Grand Finals. Kim Jiseok was up 1-0 already. He had black, Tang Wei-shing is white. Tang Wei-shing is a very territorial player, so I would imagine that he likes white in general. And you can see that this game was played before AI. The 2-space high pincer is not common nowadays because the 3-3 is usually considered a good response. The 2-space high is an awkward distance after that variation, but Kim Jiseok played here. Yeah. It's not very much like what we would do according to AI, but it's not like these moves are mistakes either, like big losses or anything like that. It's just not exactly 100% accurate according to our AI machines that we have today. It's still completely playable, of course, and white can play like this, black plays here. This is actually quite reminiscent of another Joseki, where if white has the ladder, white can cut, as white does in the game. And white does have the ladder like this. But actually, this is a worse version of this Joseki than the modern one. So black takes a small lead when it goes like this. Black can hane. White gets to hane like this when they have the extra power here. You can see the ladder is not dependent on black pushing through. So black can just Atari fall back. White falls back. But the reason why this is good for black is normally, if this Joseki would happen, we would never ever play a stone to J4, and yet white was forced to have that stone already. So it's a little bit over concentrated for white. You know, the normal Joseki, which I'm talking about, it it happens most often after a tenuki, a double approach, and like this. In this version, you can see white does not have that stone at 6. And if I was playing a serious match and you paid me to play at J4, I would probably not accept. It's a really, really bad move for white to play. So that's why in the game, we can say that black is a little bit better after this Joseki, knowing that other one is relatively fair. However, black continues to play this second line move. It's a little bit slow, and so we can say that white sort of makes it back. White makes an Atari here. Yeah, you can think that black was already alive, so he didn't really need to extend again. It's just gaining a little bit of extra territory. But Tang Wei-shing's style is very territorial, so getting a lot of territory against Tang Wei-shing may be a good overall strategy. Okay, he takes an extension on the side. Kim Jiseok takes the approach. It's very normal. Just a 2-space back off, we wouldn't see this nowadays, but in those days, it's understandable. Basically, white had a lot of strength on the left side, so if white could make a pincer, then all these stones would be very active. That's why a 2-space back off is more valuable than usual. In these days, we still wouldn't think it's valuable enough, but it's definitely a move which could be considered. Without AI, there's no one to tell you not to, right? it's somewhat free to see these games before AI was around and see their opening creativity. There's still creativity in the opening these days, but a lot of the time these guys will be content to do something that the modern players just have to have a pressure that they want to press more than than the well older games do. Okay, so in the game it continues like this. Tang Weixing is breaking the right side, and Kim Jiseok comes to the lower left. He's obviously eyeing up this cutting point. Tang Weixing needs to defend that somehow. But the main point here is that Kim Jiseok wants to just defend a group here, run a group here, and break the Tang Weixing's left side territory. So he attaches, and Tang Weixing, he just defends. He takes his territory like this, extending down. And that allows Kim Jiseok to start running out with the push. Tang Weixing breaks the bamboo. It's a very natural shape point, but it lets Kim Jiseok play the Hane. Now we should probably respond. Otherwise, we would definitely not want our white group in the lower left to become weak. So Tang Weixing just blocks here, exposing a cut for black and also taking a little bit of potential eye space, threatening to make some territory underneath. Black fixes the cut in the most active way possible, making the attach. White connects, and black fixes the cut at last. Okay, so the attacking is kind of over now. There's no way that white can really surround this group. White just goes to the upper left corner now as a big point to take some territory. This is another move we don't often see these days. The slide in the corner like this is a not AI's approved move, but it is a lot of territory. um, it's definitely a move which is possible. It's difficult to disprove, to show that this knight's move would be wrong. That's for sure. Well, Kim Jiseok can just move on with his life. It's not like this one is punishable by just going in or something like that. It's not like the white corner is directly invadable, or if it would be, that would be good for black. So just continuing to gather his own territory and his own pressure is making sense for Kim Jiseok. Tang Weixing exchanges a peep. If black would connect, then he becomes heavier. Maybe Tang Weixing can start some attack, but black just jumps like this. And then white has a little bit more potential to make it some small territory here in the end game and to otherwise use this cut, but black is further out and a little bit safer with his weak group. So Tang Weixing doesn't want to play here anymore because of that, and he just goes to invade the top side. It was also possible to go to the bottom right, but top side is reasonable as well, where Tang Weixing hopes to keep a little bit of pressure on the top side two stones for black as he breaks again the territory, and even the corner two stones as well. So Kim Jiseok should get on top of this. He plays Kasumi. It's very natural. Hane like this, and white can Hane. Yeah, a lot of players will worry about the cut in this situation, but Kim Jiseok doesn't do it. He plays the double Hane. If the cut happens, then it's just a simple sacrifice plan. Just connect here. Then the two stones in the corner are hurt a lot. And the white group here is not really going to be in very much trouble. Even the three stones need to defend themselves again. You can imagine a variation like this. Then, okay, black saved the two stones on the side, but it's really not comfortable to have to save the stones in the corner after something like this and already be broken into. That's why we can't cut right away, but wait for a moment to cut, and still it wouldn't be reasonable right now, right? So just wait and hit the vital points. And instead of cutting, you give your opponent the problem of how they want to defend the cut. And actually, Tang Weixing is no like good way to defend this cut right now. If you would connect, it's a double empty triangle. If he does it this way, it's an empty triangle with a liberty problem on the outside. If he does it this way, it's even worse. So Tang Weixing just chooses to trade here. He plays the Atari, captures the stone on the ladder, and allows Kim Jiseok to capture the two stones on the top side. So black has made a lot of territory on the top, but what white has done is managed to get some power towards the center. Remember, there's a weak group here still, so that's looking a little bit weaker after this variation. It still wouldn't be in that much trouble. Tang Weixing's next move is just to invade the corner. Trying to get a little bit of territory back, but also just trying to solidify his group on the right side. Yeah, black can block like this, but it would be a mistake to continue blocking. Kim Jiseok should block here, allow Tang Weixing to take a base on the right side. If he had gone the other way, and at this moment decided to Hana here, connect here, then Tang Weixing can just live in the corner, and because of this Aji, it's going to be really awkward for Black to continue. There's all these options for White to do something in that area. Even if White doesn't do anything directly and just plays here, it's already quite um, weird feeling for Black to continue. This shape is not ideal. So Black just allows White to take a base on the right side and plays the Atari here. It's an asking move whether White will connect or capture. In this case, since White still needed to win the ladder, then capturing makes total sense. Save any ladder breaker. And Black goes to take the lower right in the end. So White got some of the corner, some influence, Black got the top side, and Sente to go to the other big area. It's still just around fair, just around an even game. White plays the Hane here. Black jumps again, trying to build his space. The Hane was looking to put a little bit more pressure on this black group, but Kim Jiseok is saying, I don't think you can really attack me. And Tang Weixing is not the kind of player to go all in for an attack like that. He's the kind of player to go into his opponent's territory and invade. He's very good at handling his weak groups and um, keeping his territorial advantages. So when he plays here, and here he's asking Black, do you want to extend, keep your influence, and let me have an invasion into the corner later? Let me make a group there live if I want to, or do you want to kill it off like this? Actually, it's a tough choice. A lot of players don't like allowing this sort of thing. This is a living shape, by the way. A lot of players don't like allowing this kind of thing because it's hard to imagine how you're going to get the territory from the outside. But if White does this right away, the influence is definitely more valuable than the small corner territory. There's not even that much space there for that group. So usually if you extend, you'll still have the opportunity to try to capture it later, but it's your prerogative to try to do that. And Kim Ji-seok didn't want to. He instead chose to take the territory, and that allows Tang Wei-shing to have a more powerful reduction because as this happens, he can now take this Atari, and you can see that Tang Weixing's 2 stones here help him to achieve this cut. Suddenly, as Tang Weixing is reducing, Kim Ji-seok is becoming in danger. Yeah, this is White's power. This is why he's such a good player. Kim Ji-seok chooses to Atari up and connect here. He is looking to save his 1 stone there. Definitely couldn't die. That wouldn't be good for Black. It's still going to be difficult though, and at this moment, Tang Weixing plays the descent here. It means he wants to target either the 1 cutting stone on the outside or the block of 4 stones that Black has here, and Black chooses to attach, just taking power with his 4 stones. You may wonder, why didn't Black save here and then just try to save this group and capture the inside? Wouldn't that be nice if it could work? Well, White would play the double Hane, and like this. It looks like Black has quite a lot of liberties when Black has the opportunity to play this one, yet actually White is the one who would win this liberty race. White can play this move. It's the vital point. Black has no outside Aji, anything like that. Black can only connect. And when White plays here, if Black would push through, then this is allowing those White 2 stones to be perfectly effective in the liberty race. It actually makes more sense to me to start the liberty race this way. Then the White 2 stones, they have only 3 liberties, and the Black group has 4 liberties. You might think that this is a win for Black, but there's a Tesuji, a liberty Tesuji here, which is the fact that as Black Ataris, eventually it's self-Atari, or when you take a liberty from this side, White can Atari with this liberty in addition. So it's a common technique to try to link up under your opponent's stones to gain a liberty. In this case, Tang Weixing had that prepared. So Black could not extend here and capture these stones. Black would be the one losing the liberty race by 1 move. That's why Kim Ji-seok chose to gain more power, attaching here. And for Tang Weixing's idea to make sense, to attack one of the 2 stones, then Tang Weixing has to capture this stone. He does it this way. Actually, it's a bit of a mistake. It would have been better to capture it with the net like this. I understand what Tang Weixing wanted with this one. He's looking to have better follow-ups and power towards the bottom side, and it still captures this 1 stone. Even you could imagine that this would make more territory with that 1 stone later. But the problem is that it doesn't keep the power very well with his 3 stones here. And what Kim Jiseok is about to start is something of a double attack on the white upper right and the white 1 stone here. He hanes, Ataris, white connects, and plays the Atari here. White shouldn't at this point give up that 1 stone, because when white extends, there should be plenty of opportunity to gain more from the sacrifice, if it would die. But Kim Jiseok can play the tiger, stealing away a lot of the base of the white group in the corner. It only makes sense to push through, split the black shape, but black now has this move in Sente. If this white stone had been 1 line up, it wouldn't have been Sente, and white would be safe on this side and able to save, or at least control the fight, on the right side much better. But as it is, white has to spend 1 more stone in that area, and that gives black the timing to play here. Wait, this move? I thought when I was watching this game that black would play here next. It only makes sense, right? That you would use your Sente and then come back to capture your stones and score your local fighting victory where you save your group by capturing white on the side. It looks great, right? But Kim Ji-sok thought there's still the weak white group on the upper right. If he plays here, then white will live like this, gaining some territory, and this center power that black has by capturing these 2 stones will be pretty difficult to use. There's not really a target anymore. Once white has lived there, still has some potential to link up to the center is strong, the right side is strong. So instead, when Kim Ji-sok plays here, okay, it's a little bit of a territory gaining move. Of course, it forces white to run out or white would die. So it gains some territory, but mostly it also gains, when black takes the power in the center here, some power against the white groups. However, it does have a problem. There's a tesuji that it leaves behind, a vital point for white. Feel free to pause the video and see if you can spot it. It's not where Tang Weixing played. Tang Weixing played here. It doesn't mean he didn't see it, but the problem is that the tesuji doesn't work right away. The tesuji is here at 018. It's a very beautiful point. It's as if from a Sumego, if black blocks this way, white can Atari here. Of course, black can't connect because white would cut with Sente, capturing this area. So white would be able to save his 2 stones. That would be good. If black blocks here, then white can Atari this way. Again, black cannot connect because, again, black would lose a liberty race and die with the group. So it's a very, very nice vital point. However, if black plays here, it's a little difficult to continue as white. You can play this one, it's a vital point. Then, if black plays here, white can look to capture these, it would be great, but black can play here. Starting a capture race between these 2 and this whole group, white can cut in Sente, but even this one cannot capture those black stones. There's one move to cleanly save them. You can feel free to try to find it. When we're in a capture race, your first instinct should be to try to fill the outside liberties. You cannot play here because it allows white to make an Atari. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not as good for endgame. It's better to play here because it does not allow the Atari, and it effectively does the same thing of filling the outside liberty of white because that will still be accessible for black. Black can play here first, and then if white plays this one, then black can play here. White needs to connect in the corner, and black can capture the 1 stone like this and save his group. So it means that this tesuji, this vital point, it doesn't work right away. Then what Tang Weixing was doing by playing this one is he was asking to be able to play it next move. If Kim Ji-sok would block the outside, then of course the vital point would strike. So Kim Ji-sok answers like this right away. Tang Weixing can play the tiger's mouth, but Kim Ji-sok is prepared to fight and try to capture the topside white group. Tang Weixing tries to run it like this. Kim Ji-sok hanes, and Tang Weixing cuts. There's no ladder, so Kim Ji-sok has to fight on both sides from here. He extends like this, Both sides need to get enough liberties to capture this white. White plays the Kasumi, black exchanges the Atari. So it's pretty clear that this white has 4 liberties, then both of these black groups need to have 4 liberties. Luckily, I say luckily, but he definitely read it, they definitely can do that when black runs out here. White can block here. The black group now has exactly 4 liberties, so it's in some danger. If white plays again, it can capture. That's why black fills the liberty of the white from the inside. And although white can get a squeeze, it wasn't really successful that white could save this group or anything like that. So all that white really can take from this variation is some outside power. There's a weak group over there, so that's something that he can aim for. But in getting this outside power, he's given up a lot of extra territory, actually. This squeeze is not one where black's territory is really lessened. It's sort of engorged, actually. So white plays some sente move, but continues by capturing the ko. He's trying to get back his value from giving up the top side in the form of using this squeeze as a co-threat factory, where you can gain a bunch of co-threats and try to win the ko in the bottom right and force black to connect passively at some point. Black can recapture. White, didn't capture a stone to create this ko. He threw in the stone himself, so there's nothing illegal about black recapturing here. And white will play some co-threat in the topside squeeze, and black will play some co-threat, and white will play some co-threat. This one, it reduced white's liberty on the top side, so it's confirming that white wanted some of the squeeze in the corner. You can argue that's a small loss of a co-threat, but it's not a big deal. And eventually it caused black to decide to expand his own liberties. Black thought he couldn't keep up the pressure with this ko. He couldn't keep playing co-threats when white had more co-threats, sacrificing his topside, and just plays a gote move, taking power and trying to prevent white from having significantly more good shape co-threats in the upper side to continue. But it allows white to capture the ko, win the ko, and black is forced to connect here to not completely get shattered and killed. White manages to save his group and get some territory in the bottom right from this sequence, and can continue however he likes. He chooses to Hane. He's basically saying, I'm not done yet. You still have a weak group there. If he didn't Hane here, then it would be difficult to continue to attack this weak group for the rest of the game. So Tang Yuxing says, my time must be now. I Hane and cut. And he starts an extremely important fight where white is trying to put a lot of pressure on this black group and use the liberty squeezing techniques that he still has against the top side. However, in doing so, what he gives up is some potential fighting control in the center. So black cuts back, Ataris, and saves here. Of course, white was trying to attack this group, but to do that, white must save his own group, his own 2 stones there in the center, which are definitely not that close to being alive right now. So black will get a lot of stones in the center, and this starts Kim Jiseok's favorite kind of game, at least as far as I can tell from watching his games. I don't have any interviews on hand, but I do have an interview from Shinjin So on hand where he was asked how he best estimates the score in his games. And Shinjin So is not a big fan of counting for territory or power, or really just judging the board as it is. He's a bigger fan of judging the board as it was and what happened to figure out how good the score is. So basically tallying up what each player gained throughout the game and comparing it to judge who is winning. And when asked about what other pros do that to judge their game particularly well, Kim Jiseok was the name that Shinjin So mentioned. Yeah, that counting, I guess we can call it flow counting. It's a very, very difficult kind of judgment to be proficient at, because you have to be able to accurately judge what everybody is gaining in the fight and compare them against each other. Like, exactly how much control is it worth to get an attack like that? Like, how many points would you weigh on the scale for that kind of attack? Or if there was one more stone, how much is that worth? Like, or maybe if the one stone is one further to the left, and then you have to judge that. All of those things you have to understand pretty well to judge accurately with this kind of counting. Kim Jiseok is one of the greatest masters of this, of basically understanding fighting control and the fighting flow of the game. And if he can grip the fighting control, take control of the game, then he's one of the toughest players to beat. Tang Weixing is trying to take the fighting control for himself. He's trying to attack the group on the left side. Is definitely a very weak group, but Tang Weixing has his own slightly weak groups in the upper right. And Kim Jiseok will save his 2 stones here, save his cutting stones, in order to keep the pressure on as best he can. Tang Weixing must save with the empty triangle. There's no other option. And Kim Jiseok plays the jump here. So it's starting a kind of a double attack, where Kim Jiseok is saying, I will either target your upper right or your stones in the center. Tang Weixing says he's starting a double attack. He will either target the black stones in the center or the black stones on the left. And this is where we get both players trying to take control of the flow. In a very, very interesting sequence from here. I thought this center fighting was really cool. White plays wedge. Well, he plays this first, but then he plays wedge. The meaning is he wants black to push through here. If black wouldn't, then black would become shorter on liberties in the center. It would be something of a loss. But when black pushes through here, then white can make a split knights move and get much better power against the group on the left side. So now if Kim Jiseok just simply starts attacking the top side, it wouldn't be powerful enough. So what does Kim Jiseok do? He does the exact same kind of thing. White tried to force black in to allow white to take the vital point. Now black will do the exact same technique. Hane here, meaning he wants white to push out here and allow black to then play the vital point connecting. Now the black power in the center is much better, and the chances of attacking the top side are much increased. You can see being able to judge flow counting and like judge exactly how much each player is gaining in this kind of game is actually really hard. Like who just gained in the last series of exchanges? Personally, I have no idea. I mean, I know my AI said something like black gained, but if you had to tell me to say in the game that I was playing who would gain in a sequence like this, I don't know. It looks like both players are playing very nicely, right? White continues to turn here, so finally White takes the shape point by himself because there was no way for White to like push black into forcing White to play here. He just has to do it by himself. Then black gets to play the vital point. This one was really important because it steals any chance for White to make eyes in this area, for White to reattack the right side, and it also threatens this cut in a really nasty way. Because if White connects here, even that eye in the center could be falsified when black has the extra power here. So White has to be very, very careful at this moment. White needs to try to make this eye connect and save this group at the same time as he's saving all of these stones. White tries to play here. And black plays the very best move. I couldn't believe that this was the AI move, by the way, when I checked this with AI for the first time. I was sure it was a mistake. Yeah. You can feel free to try to pause the video and find it. I couldn't believe it. Black plays double Hane. It's crazy. White just attached here, attacking the black center, and black's like, whatever. Double Hane. I care about this area. Black is looking to maybe save his left side, but really what he's thinking is, let me force White into the center, and if White follows me there, then I'll be able to make, again, the beautiful shape. Yeah, the really obvious way to handle this is to just block here, right? This is the much easier way to think of doing this. But then White could play this Atari. And if black connects, White has already managed to fix the potential falsification that I was talking about, where black could try to falsify the eye in the center. Then when White plays here, then the upper right White group is alive. Yeah? So black didn't want to allow White that kind of gain in Sente, where White manages to make his eye shape in Sente. Instead, he chooses to double Hane. And he hopes to handle this area with respect to the center rather than with respect to the top side. White pushes through, trading back. And White is looking to keep the pressure on the black group in the center. He's like, why did you play double Hane? Aren't you a weak group now? That's what Tang Weixing is saying. But Kim Jiseok plays double Hane again. No fear. It's really awesome, right? To play like this. I wish I could play like this. I just get so scared if I think of this kind of move. White plays wedge here. It looks like it's just gaining power. So if black answers anyway on the right side, then white will punish and play in the center. But Kim Jiseok doesn't care. He just plays on the right side anyway. I think. Wow, there's a double Atari now, right? That's what I thought first. And I'm like, double Atari. I'm trying to defend my group. I can double Atari. Surely I should do that, right? Time Machine doesn't do that. He plays a time Suji here. He's gaining time. And then he plays this Atari instead, which is not the double Atari. What would have happened if he played the double Atari? What was so wrong with that? Well, black can save his group. He can do it this way, but I think that Kim Ji-seok would have done it this way, where he uses this group's weakness. White can save this one, however. Let's do it like this. Then black has this in Sente, and black can connect here. So the point of the double Hane was that he can still manage to get the eye falsifying move, that really important move, and still manage to save the stones in the center. Then actually the white fighting control is just like lost here. There's no way for white to win this fight from this moment. It's yeah, even though the black group on the left side is dead, the game is pretty much over in black's favor. That's what the double Hana is about. It's not about I capture a stone, you capture a stone, or anything like that. It's the whole control of the fight, you know? It's the judgment of who wins more large scale. Then double Hane, Atari here. All of this is black trying to keep control against the white group as a whole and use the other white group to be as strong as possible in his objective. Like that. That's why white played here. So white thought, oh, I really need this eye. And he instead of taking the double Atari, he took the eye vital point itself with Atari. Black can capture, taking a lot of strength, but white has no timing to come back to connect here. White captures here, trying to gain something himself. Because if white would just come back now, connect the groups, now the whole upper right white would be safe. Black would then have the time to connect here. And black saves his own left side, and what's the only weak group left? It's the white center. So white couldn't bear this kind of variation, where white was trying to attack, and then black has basically no weakness, and white is the only one left weak, then of course black will win this game. The fighting flow is just too good for black. That's why white needs to trade now. He needs to try to capture the left side, and somehow manage to save in the center, somehow. Well, black can cut. This is the strongest attack. If black would play anywhere outside, then white could connect, save, and try to handle. So black cuts. And that means both of these white groups, they now both need to make two eyes. It's really, really difficult for white to do. White plays Atari here. Black extends, making sure not to get captured with his center group. And white plays the jump. To me, it's really intuitive that you should push out here and then clamp. Then you can seal in the weight. It has a liberty shortage, so it wouldn't be able to run. And then you can try to capture the center. And you can, at the same time, try to capture the right side. It seems so good, right? But Kim Ji-seok, he does it even a step better than me. He breaks the bamboo. Always break the bamboo. Okay, not always, but I want to keep saying it as long as it keeps being true. White can capture here, but Kim Ji-seok pushes this side, and Atari is here first. You see there's a ko where white can try to make a second eye to save his group in the center. And Kim Ji-seok knew that. The reason why he didn't push through first is because he wanted to save it for a co-threat. He saw this far. White can capture, and then he can capture back. And at this point, white needs a co-threat. But it's really hard to find anything that white can threaten that's as big as this whole center group dying by black capturing the 4 stones. That's huge, right? That's absolutely massive. So white just tries to save his upper right group. And black gets the pleasant decision of whether he wants to capture his opponent's corner group or his opponent's center group. Of course, his left side is already dead as he's done this, but his must be very happy decision making. He chooses to connect here. He's like, if you capture, that would be a pretty big way to live your corner. So I'll continue fighting the ko because I have another ko threat here in the center. I'll capture again, and white asks to live again in the corner. And now Kim Jiseok is like, all right, you can live in that corner. Now when you live, it's just literally making the 4 points, and Kim Jiseok can come back to take the big ko, continue the end game. The whole white center is dead. Of course, the whole white left side is territory. That black group is also very dead. But when you count the territory at this point, black is leading by something like 10 points. White can capture, save those 3 stones. When black captured the ko, by the way, black was also threatening to save or capture those 3 stones, another big chunk of territory. White saved that, but it let black win the ko 1 step. Yeah, white plays this move. It's a ko threat. White can retake the ko, but black, yeah, just plays here. And after recapturing the ko, white resigns. There's no way to continue and win this kind of game against a world champion caliber opponent who's leading in the end game by like 10 points. It's just impossible to catch. So Tang Weisheng resigns and Kim Ji-seok wins the 2014 Samsung Cup 2-0. It was a great game. It was a really, really cool game. And I really like to see the center power, how each of them is trying to grip the flow from the other, how each of them is trying to take control by pushing the other to let them take the valuable spot. It was a really nice sort of meta fighting between the two, and really, really impressive play by Kim Ji-seok to win this game. I'm super excited to get to see Kim Ji-seok. I'm gonna go to the Go Congress too. I want to talk to him. And I also want to talk in person to Lee Dong-hoon, Nanpi, Yonkyo Do, one dan professional, Ryan Lee, 4 dan professional, Stephanie Yin, 1 dan professional. It's going to be great. So remember to sign up for the AGA Go Congress if you can. The link will be in the description. And I hope to see you guys next week with another awesome game. Toodaloo.